friendships to relationships to fashion and entertainment. It's your one-stop high-speed pop culture podcast. This is Speaking Volumes with Cher and Skeery.
Ah, yes! We are back with another edition of Speaking Volumes podcast. How you guys doing? Look at you.
Skeery, what number are we on?
Do you want to take a guess?
112.
I wish. It's number 81 of the Speaking Volumes podcast. I'm Skeery Jones. That's Portia. There's Cher. Well, Cher and Portia.
And I got demoted.
You're
again.
last.
I love it, but by my daughter, I'm okay with it. It's okay. But let's just remember it's Speaking Volumes with Cher and Skeery. And Portia.
You know, on my other Portia. You know, on my other podcast, I fight with Brody for lead title. It's like the running joke.
Shocking.
It's like with Skeery. If you look at the logo, it says it's with Skeery and Brody. Brooklyn Boys with Skeery and Brody. But he always says Brody and Skeery. No. And some of the listeners,
He does not.
Yeah, and a lot of listeners are like Brody and Skeery. Like, whatever it is. You know, and then it's like, it's alphabetical. It's alphabetical. I'm always going to lose because my name is with an S.
Oh, first of all, that is not why. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Brody's just trying to throw around, like, I don't know, maybe he like feels like the big brother of the podcast.
I don't know what he feels like. All I could tell you is
that's what it is. He feels he needs the seniority.
Yeah,
He's like, listen, buddy, it's Brody and Skeery, but it's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna call it Skeery and Brody here.
So now Portia's with us, and if you're listening to this, she's making all kinds of noises. It's because she's seeing her face in the camera, and she's mesmerized by her own funny faces. Sticking her tongue out.
Listen, I gotta tell you, this kid lately is just so funny. She's becoming this little comedian, and the funnier her faces are, or crazier, the more she does it when I tell her. Like if I'm like, hey, Portia, why are you making that face while I'm trying to take a beautiful picture? She's like, oh, let me do it more. So now I just don't comment on it because I try to make it.
I hear that. Wow. Woo. Okay. All right.
In the meantime, I'll share something with you.
She's louder than you, by the way. I can't hear you. You got to have the mic close. The microphone needs
to. About
boy.
Ballet? Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Talk to me about ballet.
Okay. So Portia started.
Ballet.
Okay.
So we've taken some trial ballet classes because we're trying to pick which school we want to participate with. And you know what's funny? One of the creative moments in ballet for her is they make you stand and they have you stand in first position and they're supposed to make a funny, silly face in the mirror. Mm-hmm. So it's something that I'm starting to realize is actually promoted even when they're trying to develop these skills because that's actually a skill. It lets them express themselves. Yeah. So, you know, Portia's expressing herself on our podcast.
I love it. You know, I just can't believe how everything has changed since I went to school. Don't forget, I don't have kids, so I don't have even a magic mirror view into what's going on. But I hear, you know, I mean, obviously things, I mean, maybe not in Portia's grade, but as they get older. Oh, wait. Oh.
Yeah, well, she's not in a grade yet.
She's not in a grade.
Remember, she's in 0. No, she's not in school yet.
Okay. She's not.
So she's only 4.
Only 4 years old. Yeah.
4.
It's crazy to me because they you know, obviously they say crisscross applesauce when they want to cross their legs or pretzel up. Yeah. That's been for a few years now. They definitely
do that in one of her Mommy and Me classes that we take.
Because they don't
do the whole crisscross applesauce.
We used to say something that I guess is completely offensive these days.
Why? What did you used to say?
We sit Indian style. That's how, because it was cross in a circle. But yes, Portia.
Crisscross.
Applesauce.
Crisscross.
Okay.
Applesauce.
There you go. Now, what about? I love it. By the way, our friend Diamond from the Big Show, Elvis Duran Morning Show, is going to join us in a minute.
Nice. She's able to get on. That's great.
Well, we'll see. I saw the screen make a weird turn.
I know. I feel like I saw maybe a person
for a second.
Well, there's a good reason why we have Diamond joining us.
Diamond is the authority on all things Vanderpump Rules, and all things Housewives and all things Bravo and Andy Cohen.
Right.
So,
right, which means we're going to be bringing her back because we'll have a little bit more on some Bravo stuff that we've been collecting. But obviously, we want to talk really quick. Start our podcast with finding out, Skeery, what's been new with you? Anything on your mind? Is there anything on Skeery Jones's mind?
Yeah. Well, I kind of freaked out last weekend. My girlfriend made me watch a marathon on the History Channel. It's called Ancient Aliens, and it basically tells you that aliens. We are nothing more than a laboratory experiment for aliens. That's pretty much the crux of the show. We're here on Earth, and aliens have been with us since the beginning of time. In fact, if you feed into some of this stuff, like the Great Pyramids and all these wonders of the world, where you realize that it had to have been made by aliens. If you look at hieroglyphics in the caves, if you look at pictures, there's always in these there's pictures of UFOs in them, meaning that
so you're saying they were behind everything.
Meaning like they have they've seen alien sightings and they've been down to Earth all those years ago in the 1500s because they're in their drawings, they're in their scriptures. There's all kinds of like proof that aliens have been down here and that we are not alone in this universe. Now, I know I'm talking like a freak all of a sudden, but you watch
No, you're not. But hold on. If you watch those shows,
yeah,
it could really bring you into another light on what's happening in the world.
Twinkle, twinkle, broken down car.
Twinkle, twinkle, broken down car. Is that how the nursery rhyme goes? Yeah, all right. Anyway.
Wait a second. So hold on though. About your show that you watched, that Robin had you watch, I will tell you, I think it's great she had you watch that because
Twinkle, twinkle,
those shows
broken down car.
break things down to where you go,
A long time to
wait a second.
It's plausible.
What is it that really are they trying to say to us? And the fact that we're actually like an experiment then.
Yeah, that
almost.
But they're not saying they're angry. They're saying that they're saying that they're friendly, and that
it's nothing bad.
No, basically, yeah, and that if they wanted to destroy us, they could have done it years ago.
Right, almost like people that are still like searching to find out if it's real and it's there.
Yeah.
Like wake up, yes it is.
Well, there's more UFO sightings.
I think it's fascinating.
More and more UFO sightings. Just the other day, a couple in Vegas saw a UFO. They're saying there's remains of UFOs and all that. And the government is no longer hell bent against it anymore. So we must know something.
Yeah, but that's interesting too. Because for such a long time, that was so taboo.
You can't talk about it.
Don't talk about it.
Can't
Why would you talk about it?
No, for the longest time. You're right.
Right, exactly. It was just taboo.
Yeah.
But the fact that now they're coming out with shows on so many things Skeery that they never let out just shows you how entertainment has taken a new leap. Like 2023, it's insane. And Portia's singing to us.
She may be programmed by an alien right now. Who knows?
Are you programmed by an alien?
They're saying that there's
because of the nest.
Okay.
The dino park thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because of the dino park thing.
Exactly.
Do you understand that?
No. Hey, listen.
Portia,
we're running out of time, unfortunately, because we have.
Wait a second. Let me get back to why we were talking about your moment for a second, and then we'll go. I'll tell you my 10 minutes of nuances when we come back on, because having Diamond on today was a big deal, because I think you and I were talking about something in the news recently. Came out today, right? What was it that we were talking about? The Bill Murray thing. Yeah,
Bill Murray, legendary actor, 72 years old, dating Khalees, the one-hit wonder.
Right.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. She's 43. And people are like, what? This came out of nowhere. Like, how did these two meet? What do they have in common? And why is this a headline?
So here's the thing, though. That's exactly it. A headline. So let's just talk about, like we were just talking about entertainment and how the new shows are out there in 2023 and things have changed. So let's just bring it to speed with reality.
Yeah.
The reality series and what has actually happened and how things like the Bill Murray news story
Sure.
is like top dial, right? So the reason why, wait, let me just disconnect Portia. Hang on a second. Go grab your iPad. The reason why is because obviously people see the fame that comes out of publicizing all this stuff. Now that's nothing new, but the amount of exposure you get is something that can really be overwhelming at times. And one of the things that's been completely overwhelming for weeks has been this story through Vanderpump, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And that's why since the finale happened, the third one came out, we wanted to have an episode today and kind of just rehash, give an opinion, a little Cher knows, and some Diamond on what happened and what is this really about.
It's too large to ignore, the whole Vanderpump scandal.
No, we can't ignore it.
As you know, Ariana Madix and Tom Sandoval, if you don't follow, they've been dating for like 8 or 9 years. But Ariana, sweet as apple pie, the good girl. And then you got Tom, who we thought was awesome and faithful, only to come to find out that he's been sleeping with Raquel, her best friend, for like 7 months. Well, anyway, so after they finished filming the season and this all came out, because keep in mind, the show's been around for 10 years now with Lisa Vanderpump.
That's right.
And it started strong. Then there was this lull where no one talked about it. But in the last couple of months, it ramped up again because of the scandal with Tom.
Oh, Bravo's loving this. Bravo's loving this. They're like, cheat more.
So, and then they recently had a 3-part, 3 week in a row, talk about milking it, reunion, where all of them got together after the taping, and more secrets were revealed during these 3 reunion shows. So to make sense of it, Diamond's been there forever. And she's actually...
and I'm glad she has, because I haven't. But let me tell you, what I've taken from this whole thing, I would love to hear her thoughts on. Because there is a different angle I want to hit on this. It's not just let's rehash it. Let's think about this for a second. What is really going on?
Exactly. And Diamond is a part of Elvis Duran, the morning show. She's on with us every single morning. And she's basically answers our phones. But she does so much more than that. She's one of our producers who do so much in the background and is a rising star. And she's a giant all things reality junkie. So I thought I saw her try and pipe in there. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Here she comes.
Is she there?
Oh, I believe she is. Boom!
Hey!
Diamond!
Can you see me? Can you hear me? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, absolutely. How's everything?
We can see and hear you. Hi, Diamond.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thanks for joining us.
So Cher has a million questions about well, that's Portia, by the way, her daughter.
Huh?
Oh, that's Portia.
Yeah.
Portia, say hi to Diamond. Give her a wave.
So this is the Speaking Volumes podcast. We talk about a lot of pop culture things. We don't usually touch on Vanderpump. In fact, we never.
No.
Let's be honest, we never do. But Cher was sucked in, from a legal perspective, about a month or two ago when the whole Scandival thing happened, and then she's been watching religiously every week. She watched the reunion shows
every week since.
So she's got questions. But I said, better that than me. I mean, I just see a couple of Cliff Notes versions, watch a couple of YouTube clips, and see what my girlfriend has to tell me about it.
No, Diamond
is the one.
No, I need you because literally, let me tell you something. He's right. Originally, I was going on the legal aspect here because I heard that they were slapped with a restraining order and this and that. And I'm like, how many of these reality shows probably have this happen? And their big dog attorneys get in and say, yo, you guys got to drop this because we have a show to do. And if you want your 50 grand by the end for this and you want your money for that endorsement, everybody better get along. I don't care about the drama, but no legal stuff. So I was waiting to do something on that. And then I figured out that had so many other layers to it. And I was like, oh, let's just talk layers. Let's wait till the end.
Right.
Where do we begin? Because I'm ready.
Go for it. Well,
okay.
Well, why don't you talk about the reunion show? I just gave them an overview of,
wait.
Tom and Ariana.
I'm going to give her something.
Okay.
Are you ready? Hold on,
Ahead,
Skeery. I'm going to give her some buzzes. Okay. So I have some things that I took away from the reunion. I'm going to throw them out at you and let you just go. You ready? Okay. So, Raquel, my actions are human. I was a people pleaser, and now I'm pleasing myself.
Isn't that like she's delusional, right? Like now you're pleasing yourself. So to make yourself happy, you're going to sleep with your best friend's boyfriend. Are you crazy? Yeah. She's a lunatic. And then
Like at the expense of others, you make yourself happy. So that's what we should all be doing, right, Diamond? At the expense of others, how can I make myself happy?
I mean, a lot of people do it already, but like, could you imagine
of course
how crappy the world would be if people did that on the everyday basis? Oh, okay.
No.
Are you crazy? She's a lunatic.
No.
Then people are saying that they feel bad for her these days. Like, oh, I felt bad. I understand, but no, sorry. No, we're not just talking about a regular mistress here.
So let me ask you something else, and then I have like another one for you. But didn't you feel like the last episode, okay, when she finally was allowed in because Shayna got taken away, didn't you feel like her demeanor was almost not what you'd want her to have? Like if you decided to lay in this bed, and you made this bed, you lay in it type attitude, because that's where I come from. I'm a total... I'm the actress PI, okay? So when I look with my PI blindfolds over here and I look through this light, I go like this. I go, okay, you did this, deal with it. Like stand up for yourself a little bit at this point. I found her demeanor to be so strange because it was almost like, I'm just really sorry and I don't know what to say and I'm so ashamed of myself. That's fine. Fine, you're human if that's really what you want to come out and say. But there's got to be a part of you that says something a little more confident. Right. There was no confidence behind any of that. What? And I'm kind of shocked.
Did you see that Andy said somewhere this past week that he felt like she was on medication because she
maybe that's what it
Listen,
was.
I don't know how she could defend herself with this. I really mean what were you going to say? And also, let's talk about the fact that apparently this guy, Sandoval, has been coaching her.
Get there.
So he probably told her.
Maybe that was it.
Say it again?
Yeah. Maybe that was it. Maybe that's why her demeanor just seemed so like, it just was too strange. And I do agree. Maybe it was a medication thing, right? Do you think that?
I believe it. Once he said it, I'm like, that makes sense. But I also think that we're dealing with someone who's just not all there anyway. Whatever capacity it is, maybe like the way that she communicates is weird. Like, so I think that's just who she is. But I'm like,
wait.
To what extent do you think this is for the show, right? Meaning like, okay, you know what? We've all come to grips with the fact that we've been doing this show for all these years. I'm going to do some outrageous things and all no holds barred.
Okay, so
and I know we're dealing with real relationships because Tom and Ariana were going out for all these years.
Yes,
but to what extent do they lean into it now? That's like, well, it's out there now, so I'm just going for it.
Well, the thing about it that made everyone who like has watched for all these years so disgusted is the fact that in this entire season, the two of them basically, you find out at the end that the two of them were like pushing a specific narrative all season, and like it was to cover up their affair, which makes it even worse. They like brought in Schwartz, his best friend, who recently the one that Raquel kisses him, even though
like what the hell?
Oh, he knows. Just Skeery, do you know this?
No, I know about this.
Okay. I don't know.
I know about.
Do you know?
And then all about him carrying her on Halloween. Tom Sandoval, right?
No, wrong thing. So.
Oh, see, I don't know.
He dressed like her. No,
he dressed like her for
Raquel, right?
Yeah, like Raquel for Halloween, right? Yes.
The weirdest thing on the planet. But anyway, she made out with his best friend, who is
the other Tom Schwartz. Yes.
Yes, who's going through a divorce with Katie, who's also a friend of the group. They had basically an understanding. Just don't hook up with anybody in the friend group. They do it. She makes out with him, and that was like the big thing of the season. We find
right. We thought you thought it was the big thing of the season.
We thought it was the big thing of the season. You find out that it was just all like, they conspired with each other to do this. It's disgusting. That's what makes it even worse. I am disgusted.
So the fans are felt. The fans feel had at the end of this? Do they feel like because I'm thinking like, do they feel the producers are instigators and they didn't? There were some key things that they didn't let their own cast in on that they probably should have been said.
I think if anything, I felt had by the teasing of what the grand discovery was going to be at the very end of part 3, because
which was
it was just the fact that the timeline was longer than everyone
right.
said in the
It was 7 months long, and people were like, "What? It was going on all this time. It wasn't just a."
Well, yeah, and the other thing, right, Diamond? The other problem was when they did that little recap at the end. It was almost like here, everybody that was really engaged in it is sitting here watching these 3 episodes, right, at the end, and then you get to the finale, you hear Raquel finally come out, because that's what everybody was waiting for, to see Raquel come out and talk, right? And then you get this blurb after that that's basically saying that she lied while she was on the stage, just telling everybody the story, because she did have sex in their house, and she did, what do you call it? Have sex in Mexico with him when they were in Mexico.
Wait a second. How did that happen when Tom was with Ariana there?
That's what makes me have a lot more questions about their relationship as a whole anyway.
Which leads me to believe that maybe everybody's looking the other way because this is going to be some great TV.
I think in the other way because she's defended him so much over the years. He's had more than one cheating accusation thrown at him, or them as a couple, whatever. And she's defended him. So I think that like she felt like, well, if anyone has questions, we'll figure it out, but we're going to discuss this amongst ourselves and not publicly. But I think that this was just too much for her to handle. I mean, come on.
Oh, this was too much. This was way too much. Here, I'll give you another one that Tom said. You ready? Okay. We don't live our lives by logic.
He's a lunatic.
What?
He's crazy. And I don't know what. I thought the Howie Mandel interview was enough for me. Like, I was done with him after that because it was like, you're clearly lying. Like, he believes the narratives that he's come up with. Yeah. And it's scary. I'm like, Lala freaking out on him.
Yeah, what's the deal with that? So can we talk about that for a second? Because that's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. So it just seemed to me like, first of all, obviously, it was disgusting because then when you look back at the episodes, you see all the things that you would have hoped people would have picked up on, right? But everybody played this like victim role for her, or she played this victim role, and everybody ate into it like, she's the person that, is kind of just getting targeted and looked at like that, and we've all been there, so let's just, not join the gang and gang up on her. But then there was this whole thing with Lala, and James, they were like on fire. Yeah. So that's something that Skeery and I were talking about for like a brief moment, right? And Skeery's angle obviously is on the TV side of what's actually being done for the ratings. Do you think at that point, Lala and James are just going to town because they just want the attention? Because everybody seems to be attention grabbers on the show.
Okay, so James, I completely understand why he feels the way that he does and why he's acting out the way that he is, even though it's very immature. He was engaged to Raquel, and Tom helped pay for the engagement. Like, he helped pay for, like, the extravagant way that he proposed to her. Also, there are rumors. They didn't acknowledge this or whatever, but there are rumors that they slept together when she and James were still together.
Oh my God! It's so incestuous.
Yeah. So that's thing. I don't know if it's actually true, but I wouldn't be surprised if something.
So you think that's where some anger?
I got a question.
From.
Yeah.
Why do people like Sheena and Lala have to make it their business too when they got really nothing to do with this?
Okay, so Sheena was caught in the middle. I do understand. Sheena went back and forth with Katie all season about the fact that Raquel was such a good person. And let them live when Schwartz and Raquel with each other or whatever, she was like Team Raquel. She was going so hard. So like Sheena, I feel like you made me look stupid. I think that's how it feels. You made me look dumb. She said that she's even let Raquel sleep in the bed with her and her husband. Like, she really trusted her. She paid for this girl to she paid to set her apartment up somewhere. I think that it's just like, they're all a really close group of friends. I think a lot of them have gotten way closer since like I took a break from watching. So I was shocked too, but whatever. Lala, Lala was demonized in the past few seasons. So I feel like this was her, like, she felt vindicated because
like this was her way to come out and say, see, I'm not the
crazy one.
And she also called a mistress, and she ended up finding out that she was a mistress. Like, she was dating a guy who was married or whatever. But her thing was, I was being lied to. You knew what you were doing. You're friends with his girlfriend. So
I just think it's a bunch of
that's
a lot of egos in the building, and they were cast for these roles based on their personalities. A combustible moment like this was bound to happen at some point during the show, with all the people like living on top of each other and mixing character. It's all, I mean, because they were cast for this show for this reason, to create drama. And finally, after 10 seasons, Andy Cohen and Bravo are like, yes,
but
ratings jackpot.
It's like this since the beginning. I think that the biggest issue is that Raquel literally this season called Ariana one of her best friends. I think that that's the biggest thing. Like, people have been cheating on each other and like hooking up with random people, but this was like a full blown.
I think they're writing the script in their head. I think all the time Raquel's like, yeah, I'm gonna butter her up. I'm gonna, and you know, and then even Tom, I'm gonna dress as her for Halloween, because there's gonna be this reveal at the end, and it, you know what I'm saying? I feel like there were things maybe they did through the season, littered it with all this stuff to make you think one thing, and then all of a sudden, boom, explosion. I think it's now I'm cheating on you with your best friend.
I think they were trying to make it seem all season as if he was looking out for Raquel because he loved her as a friend and as a little sister, when, I mean, in reality, they were sleeping together already. It's weird.
Did the producers know that they were sleeping together while they were filming?
They said that there were little things that they picked up on, but not necessarily. I mean, like I said, the way that Ariana like has shut things down in the past, even about them this past season, like earlier on in the season or toward the end, she like was shutting everything down. So for them, it's like, okay, I guess we'll wait until it actually comes out, because they didn't have like hard proof.
Well, hold on. Also, you know what? There's so many different angles to this diamond. It drives me nuts, because there's also the angle that these producers also watched and have heard that Lala and Ariana got it on in the back of their car, right? So if that's okay, hey, maybe these people want this life. Let them put out what they want.
I think they get a free pass, to be quite honest.
And, right. That's what I'm saying.
Tom and Ariana have made it very clear, like, Ariana came out as bisexual while she was with Tom. So clearly we know that she's been like, you know, they do things. So I don't know if they probably feel like, hey, listen, maybe
this was part of their thing. So I'll tell you something else though also. So like the overall fact that, so I'll tell you one thing about the show, and then I just want to focus on Raquel.
Well, we have to. Diamond's got to go catch a Broadway show here, so we got to.
Okay, I promise. But wait, hold on. So the overall, right? No one on that show really does own their own business. Like somehow, some way, the shit gets put off to other people, and nobody kind of. And I love that Andy did the first thing, like the first reunion day. He said, no one here is innocent. Like, let's just all take a seat back, because he was right to say that, you know? And the fact that they all knew this, right? And it's the fact that the psychoses behind Raquel. So here's the next thing. The psychoses behind Raquel. In a PI sort of way, I will share something. Many of my adultery cases, the infidelity cases, all those cases always came back to something that was so weird to me, and I'll share it with you. There was many times, not always, but many times, that there was some link behind the person that was cheating and some relationship with the person. And it never seemed to fail that they would go to either a restaurant that they would go to, let's say with their wife, but they take their mistress to that restaurant during the time they're cheating, which you would normally say, why wouldn't you stay the hell out of there, right? Or there'd be something that they wore and they'd buy that same piece and put it on that person. Or there'd be, like, when I tell you this, it had come up case after case. And at the end, okay, when you're done with everything, you almost look back and you go, oh my God, like that's some sick stuff. So there was something that came up about it that said, if you're going to do something like that, right, and you're playing this role and it's your BFF and Ariana and you're making such a big deal out of it, you're talking to her about her sex life, like all these things were just so sick that it's almost like she was, these were calculated decisions. That's why people have a problem with this, right?
Yeah,
and it's self-sabotage.
All right, so Diamond, some final comments on that. I know you got to roll because you got to roll over to this show.
So do you think she self-sabotaged herself?
Oh,
like on purpose? Like that's her personality disorder?
I think that her issues are way deeper than anything that I know of. You know, like she just the way that she's handled the aftermath make me feel as if she just honestly doesn't have a brain. Like, you know, like I think
It's true.
and about things, and he clearly isn't that smart either. So I think like she just on top of maybe like I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't want to like
No, I get
but
it.
On top of just like maybe a learning disorder, I think that she's just dumb. Like she's
I think that's
anyone
a great way to end
will
it.
publicly say that her ex-boyfriend talked so much shit about her parents on national TV, like saying some of the things that James said about her parents on national TV, something isn't right, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but wishing her the best. Wishing her the best.
Diamond, thank you so much for
next
spending
season?
time.
Oh!
If we ever, yeah.
They said next season is happening. All cast members have been asked to come back. Yeah.
Oh, really? And they all agreed to come back?
They didn't. Wait. They did not. I was waiting to see who lost their job.
And so we'll see because I doubt Raquel is coming back. Come on.
We'll see. Well, I'll tell you what. If it goes further and it gets juicier, we're going to have you on for this. And if we ever talk about anything reality TV, can we tap into you? Is that okay?
Are you kidding?
She's all things housewives.
Diamond, we need you.
We need you.
We need you.
Thank you. Bye. She's great. I told you, she doesn't disappoint, Cher. She's amazing. And she was the perfect person for us.
I love the fact that, like, these key things that, like, the little things, the tiny little things that I took away from this, she, like, was right on point with, because that's what you want to hear. You want that fan that knows the show to tell us our angle. Because, Skeery, you know what? There is so much out there today. If you go on Instagram, there's just pages and pages and pages. Yeah. We wanted a different perspective.
I have nothing, and I'm not going to lie. I mean, I don't really watch the show. I mean, I've seen a couple of pieces of episodes here and there. I've seen some clips on YouTube. I've heard some sound and things, what we've talked about. I've seen some articles.
Well, you see the articles. I mean, the headlines.
And a lot of opinions.
You know.
So I've learned, and whatever my girlfriend tells me is like, Vanderpump, like, ah!
But, you know, Skeery, the crazy thing is to sum it up, these reality shows, you put yourself out there, you could imagine you have to just expect anything. I mean, look, we expect anything in entertainment. Our lives are an open book, but the truth is that that's just even that's a level even to its own extent.
Maybe Tom and Raquel are the aliens among us. Going back to the beginning of our podcast, maybe they are the ones that are living amongst us. I don't know. They say they could be.
Maybe it's all fictitious.
Oh my God! If you want to comment on anything,
Portia, you want to say bye?
Oh, you want to say bye, Portia?
Come here. Okay, now you could finish.
All right. If you want to get in touch with us, speakingvolumespodcasting@gmail.com. That's a creepy looking doll.
I know.
Oh my God.
Hi, Dolly.
What's the name of your doll? Oh my God, that doll looks like really human. Maybe that's an alien. Maybe there's an alien living inside of that doll.
Maybe.
Oh my God. If you're listening to this, they're holding a doll up to the camera that looks like a humanoid.
I'm a robot.
I'm a robot.
You're gonna sing us out? Thank you, Portia.
So,
also,
to our fans out there, we'd love to hear what you have to say about Vanderpump. If you want to share some of your stories or some of your thoughts on it, or anybody from Vanderpump wants to share their thoughts, feel free.
Yes, and it's of course go see Cher on her Facebook page at Cher Cosenza and on Instagram as well. All right, we'll see you guys next time on Speaking Volumes Podcast. Take care now. Say bye, Portia. Bye.
From friendships to relationships to fashion and entertainment, it's your one-stop high-speed pop culture podcast. This is Speaking Volumes with Cher and Skeery.